All right, everyone, get ready for today's deep dive. We're going behind the scenes to help you prepare for a Bus Route Supervisor interview.
We'll be pulling some intel from RoleCatcher's career and interview guides.
And even taking a look at how we can use their AI tools to our advantage.
It's like having a secret weapon.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of the interview questions.
Yeah, let's break down what a Bus Route Supervisor actually does.
Day to day, I mean.
Well, you're essentially the conductor of this massive orchestra, right? You're coordinating all the buses.
Like managing the routes.
Yeah, like a master chess player.
Oh, I like that.
And making sure all the drivers are hitting their cues.
And then you've got the cargo aspect too, right?
Oh, absolutely. You're dealing with everything from luggage to those, time-sensitive express shipments.
The ones we're all anxiously waiting for.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not just a desk job then.
No, you're definitely not just sitting in an office all day.
So what does the work environment look like?
You'll likely have an office, but also expect trips to the bus depot.
Oh, okay.
Potentially dealing with crowds, some noise.
Yeah, I can see that.
And even spending some time outdoors.
Interesting. So a pretty dynamic role then.
For sure.
RoleCatcher also mentions that this job can be quite demanding.
Yeah.
And potentially stressful at times.
Right.
I can imagine.
I mean, think about it. Tight schedules.
Uh-huh.
Traffic,
Oh, yeah.
the occasional breakdown. You're responsible for the safety of all the passengers.
That's a lot of pressure.
And drivers.
Yeah. It's not just getting the bus from point A to point B.
No, it's way more than that.
Okay, so before we dive into those interview questions,
Right.
let's talk a bit more about how RoleCatcher's AI can help us stand out.
Yeah, their AI is really interesting. What it does is it actually analyzes the job description.
Oh, wow.
The specific one you're targeting.
Okay.
And it flags any skills gaps in your resume.
So you can see where you might be falling short.
Exactly. Imagine knowing exactly what the employer is looking for before you even apply.
That's incredible.
It is.
So it's not just a general resume checker. It's like a targeted analysis.
Precisely. And if you decide to go for their Copilot AI subscription, it goes even further.
Oh, tell me more about that.
It helps you write a killer cover letter, refine your applications,
Wow.
and it even analyzes your video interview rehearsals.
Really? That's amazing.
It's like having a personal career coach in your corner.
Okay, I'm sold. So let's get down to business with the interview questions themselves.
Okay.
RoleCatcher highlights 10 key questions for Bus Route Supervisor interviews.
Right.
And we're going to break each of them down, understand what the interviewer is really looking for,
Yes.
and give you some strategies for crafting those winning answers.
And we'll sprinkle in some of RoleCatcher's sample answers
Perfect.
for inspiration.
But of course, you'll need to personalize them.
Absolutely. To reflect your own unique experiences and skills. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
We'll also toss in some potential follow-up questions.
Yeah. To keep you on your toes.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's dive right in. Question number 1. It's that classic opener.
Oh, yeah.
What inspired you to pursue a career as a Bus Route Supervisor?
Yes. Don't let the simplicity of that question fool you.
I know, right? It seems so straightforward.
This is really all about gauging your passion and motivation.
Okay.
They want to see that spark,
Uh-huh.
that you're genuinely interested in this field
Yeah.
and not just applying for any job that comes your way.
So don't just rattle off your resume.
Absolutely not. Think about those moments that really led you here.
Okay.
Maybe you've always been fascinated by logistics, the
Yeah.
whole intricate dance of moving things from one place to another.
It is fascinating.
Or perhaps you have some experience in a related field.
Yeah.
Maybe you were a bus driver.
Oh, right.
And you saw firsthand the challenges and the rewards of managing routes and ensuring that passengers are happy. Whatever it is, let your enthusiasm shine through.
Oh, enthusiasm is key. So RoleCatcher suggests this sample answer.
Okay.
I've always been passionate about ensuring efficient and reliable transportation services.
Yeah.
My previous experience as a bus driver allowed me to understand the complexities of route management and the importance of customer satisfaction.
That's a really good starting point.
Okay.
But remember, make it your own.
Right. Personalize it.
Yeah. What truly drew you to this field?
Yeah.
What unique experiences or skills do you bring to the table?
Okay.
Now, here's a potential follow-up question.
Oh, okay. Hit me.
What specific aspects of bus route supervision do you find most appealing?
Oh, they're digging deeper there.
They are. It's not just about liking buses.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the nuances of the role.
Okay. I'm ready for question number 2.
All right, let's roll on.
How do you ensure that buses run on schedule and arrive at their destinations on time?
The punctuality question. This one is all about showcasing your strategic thinking, okay, and your problem-solving skills.
Right.
The interviewer wants to see that you're not just hoping for the best.
You're prepared.
You're actively planning, anticipating challenges.
So what kind of concrete strategies should we highlight beyond just saying, I'm good at time management?
Right, exactly. Think about the tools and tactics you would use to keep those buses running, like clockwork.
Right.
Utilizing GPS tracking systems to monitor where those buses are in real time.
Oh, yeah.
Implementing really efficient scheduling practices,
Right.
factoring in traffic patterns, potential delays, proactively communicating with drivers about any adjustments or updates.
Really showing them you're on top of it.
You're a master of logistics.
Okay, love it. RoleCatcher's sample answer touches on some of those key points.
Right.
I believe in a proactive approach.
Yeah.
I would utilize real-time tracking systems to monitor bus locations and proactively communicate with drivers about any potential delays or adjustments.
Right.
I would also work closely with dispatchers to optimize routes and minimize any potential disruptions.
That's solid. You could also mention any experience you have with route optimization software.
Oh,
Or other technologies that help you stay ahead of the game.
okay, that makes sense. So imagine they hit you with this follow-up.
Okay, here we go.
How would you handle a situation where a bus experiences a significant delay due to unforeseen circumstances?
You know what? That's a good one.
Right. It's not just about planning. It's about being adaptable, thinking on your feet.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's unpack that question and more in part 2 of our deep dive.
Okay, are you ready for another tough interview question?
Hit me with it. I'm starting to feel like I could handle anything.
That's the spirit. All right, so picture this. You're in the interview, and they ask, how do you manage conflicts and handle difficult situations with drivers or passengers?
Okay, that's a good one. Conflict resolution is definitely a key skill for a bus route supervisor.
Absolutely. The interviewer wants to get a sense of your interpersonal skills.
Okay.
See how well you can stay calm under pressure
Right.
and how you approach resolving issues,
Fairly.
fairly and effectively.
So how do you strike that balance
Between.
being firm but also compassionate and understanding?
It's all about de-escalation.
Okay.
So instead of getting defensive or matching someone's anger, you want to listen, acknowledge their concerns,
Right.
and focus on finding solutions that benefit everyone involved.
Got it. So RoleCatcher's sample answer highlights some of those points.
Right.
I believe in open communication and active listening. If a conflict arises, I would first try to understand each party's perspective.
Yeah.
Then, I would facilitate a respectful conversation to find a mutually acceptable resolution.
Okay.
My priority is to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone involved.
That's a great foundation.
Okay.
But to really make your answer stand out,
Yeah.
think about specific examples.
From my own experience.
From your own experience, maybe you had to mediate a dispute between a driver and a passenger, or perhaps you helped calm down a frustrated customer
Oh, yeah.
who was upset about a delay.
I can see that happening.
Those real-world stories
Yeah.
will make your answers much more engaging
Okay, that's a great tip.
and memorable.
So, what kind of follow-up question might they ask?
Well, they could dig a bit deeper into your conflict resolution experience.
Okay.
With something like, have you ever had to deal with a particularly challenging passenger or driver? And how did you handle that situation?
Oh, that's a tough one. It really tests your composure.
It does.
Okay, let's move on to question number 4.
All right, shifting gears a bit.
How do you ensure that buses are maintained and serviced regularly to prevent breakdowns?
So this one dives into your knowledge of preventative maintenance
Okay.
and safety protocols. The interviewer wants to know that you're proactive about keeping those buses in tip-top shape.
To avoid those disruptions.
Right. And ensure passenger safety, of course.
So it's more than just knowing when to schedule an oil change.
Yeah, it's about understanding the bigger picture of bus maintenance.
Okay, got it.
Talk about your familiarity with maintenance schedules, your ability to implement preventative measures,
Okay.
and your knowledge of any industry standard software
All right.
for tracking and managing those maintenance records.
Makes sense. So RoleCatcher suggests this sample answer.
Okay.
I would work closely with the maintenance department to ensure that all buses adhere to a strict preventative maintenance schedule.
Yeah.
This includes regular inspections, oil changes, tire rotations, and any other necessary repairs. I would also implement a system to track maintenance records and proactively address any potential issues.
That covers the essentials, but,
Yeah.
you can really enhance your answer by discussing specific software programs you've used or strategies you've implemented to streamline the maintenance process.
Oh.
Think about things like digital tracking systems, automated alerts for upcoming maintenance tasks,
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
or even predictive maintenance models that use data to anticipate potential issues.
You're blowing my mind.
Yeah.
So what kind of follow-up question could they ask?
Well, they could ask, what steps would you take if a bus did break down unexpectedly while in service?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
It tests your ability to handle emergencies.
It does. You have to think on your feet.
For sure. Minimize that impact on passengers and routes.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to question number 5.
All right.
How do you manage the performance of drivers and ensure that they meet company standards?
This one's all about leadership
Okay.
and your ability to motivate and guide your team.
Right.
The interviewer wants to know how you set expectations,
Clear expectation.
clear expectations, how you provide constructive feedback,
Right.
and create a culture of accountability.
So it's about being both supportive and firm.
It's a delicate balance.
I can imagine.
You need to foster a positive work environment
Yeah,
where drivers feel valued
of course.
and respected, but you also need to hold them accountable
Right.
for meeting performance standards, adhering to company policies.
Makes sense. RoleCatcher offers this sample answer.
Okay.
I believe in establishing clear performance expectations and providing regular feedback to drivers.
Right.
I would conduct performance evaluations based on objective metrics, such as on-time performance, safety records, and customer feedback.
Yeah.
I would also provide opportunities for professional development and recognize exceptional performance.
That hits all the key points,
Okay, good.
to really shine here.
Yeah.
Think about specific feedback mechanisms you've used in the past.
Okay.
Maybe you've implemented one-on-one meetings, regular performance reviews,
right.
or even peer-to-peer feedback systems.
Okay, interesting.
The more specific you are, the more confident you'll sound.
Right, so what kind of follow-up question might they ask?
They might dig a little deeper into your approach to performance management
Okay.
with something like, how would you handle a situation where a driver consistently underperforms or violates company policies?
Okay, that's a tough one.
They're looking for your ability to address performance issues directly and fairly
Right.
while also following the appropriate disciplinary procedures.
That's a tricky balance. All right, question number 6.
Absolutely. Let's keep this momentum going.
Hit me.
Imagine they ask, how do you ensure compliance with safety regulations and company policies?
Ooh, safety is a big one, especially in the transportation industry.
You got it. The interviewer wants to know you take safety seriously and that you're knowledgeable about the relevant regulations
Okay.
and that you have systems in place to ensure compliance.
Across the board. So it's about showing them I've actually implemented safety protocols in my previous roles.
Exactly. Think about specific training programs you've implemented.
Right.
Safety audits you've conducted.
Yeah.
Or any initiatives you've spearheaded
Yeah.
to create that safety-conscious culture.
Got it. So RoleCatcher suggests this sample answer.
Right.
Safety is my top priority.
Yeah.
I would ensure that all drivers receive thorough training on safety regulations and company policies. I would also conduct regular safety audits and inspections to identify any potential hazards or areas for improvement.
Right.
I would implement a system to report and investigate any safety incidents to prevent future occurrences.
That's a great starting point.
Yeah.
To add some extra oomph to your answer.
Yeah.
Think about any safety certifications you hold
Okay.
or specialized training you've received.
And things like hazard identification.
In things like hazard identification, accident investigation, or defensive driving techniques.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, those details really show your commitment to safety.
I'm starting to feel like a safety pro. What kind of follow-up question might they ask?
They could ask something like, what steps would you take to create a culture of safety among drivers and staff?
Oh, I like that. It's about more than just enforcing the rules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want to know you can foster a mindset where everyone prioritizes safety.
And feels empowered to speak up about potential concerns.
Absolutely. Okay, ready for question number 7?
Bring it on. Hit me with it.
Get ready to talk numbers.
Oh, boy.
The next question is all about the budget. Imagine they ask, how do you manage the budget for bus routes and ensure that they are cost-effective?
The budget question, it's unavoidable in any management position.
Right. They want to see that you understand the financial side of things,
Wow.
and you can make smart decisions to optimize resources
Right.
without sacrificing service quality.
Right.
Find that sweet spot,
Between.
efficiency meets effectiveness.
Got it. So it's not just about cutting costs. It's about finding ways to do more with less.
Exactly, and still providing that excellent service to passengers.
Okay.
This is where you showcase those analytical skills.
Okay.
Talk about how you would analyze route data,
Like ridership numbers.
ridership numbers, fuel consumption,
Okay.
maintenance costs,
Uh-huh.
to identify areas for potential savings.
Okay. So RoleCatcher's sample answer gives us a good framework.
Right.
I would carefully analyze route data, such as ridership numbers, fuel consumption, and maintenance costs to identify areas for potential savings.
Uh-huh.
I would explore strategies to optimize routes, minimize fuel consumption, and reduce unnecessary expenses while maintaining service quality.
That's a solid start,
Okay.
but you can make your answer even stronger by discussing specific budgeting tools
Oh, right.
or software you've used in the past.
Like a system for tracking fuel consumption.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe you've developed a model for projecting future maintenance costs.
Okay, so show them I'm comfortable working with the numbers.
Exactly. Making data-driven decisions.
What kind of follow-up question might they ask?
Well, they might pose a scenario where you have to make some tough choices with limited resources.
Oh, like what?
Something like, how would you prioritize budget allocations when faced with limited resources?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
It really makes you think strategically
It does. Weigh those competing priorities.
and make those difficult decisions.
Yeah.
Align with the company's goals.
Exactly.
Okay, question number 8.
You bet. Let's shift our focus to the customer experience. Imagine they ask, how do you measure and improve customer satisfaction with bus routes?
Okay, this is all about understanding the needs and expectations of our passengers.
Right. Finding ways to meet them.
Or even exceed them.
Absolutely. They want to see that you value the customer experience
Uh-huh.
and that you're proactive about gathering feedback
Okay.
and using it to make improvements.
So it's not just about getting them from A to B.
Yeah.
It's about creating a positive experience.
Right. Think about specific ways you've gathered customer feedback in the past, like through surveys.
Surveys, online platforms,
Okay.
or even direct interactions.
Oh, right. Talking to the passengers themselves. So RoleCatcher's sample answer suggests,
Okay.
I would implement a system to collect customer feedback through surveys, online platforms, and direct communication.
Uh-huh.
I would analyze this feedback to identify areas for improvement, such as route adjustments, schedule changes, or driver training.
Right.
I would also track key metrics, such as on-time performance and customer complaints, to monitor progress.
That's a great starting point.
Okay.
To really stand out.
Yeah.
Highlight any successful initiatives you've led to improve customer satisfaction.
Okay.
Based on feedback, of course. Maybe you implemented a new mobile app.
Oh,
It
right.
makes it easier for passengers to track bus locations.
That would be helpful.
Or perhaps you redesigned a route
based on feedback.
based on feedback
Yeah.
about confusing stops
Oh, yeah.
or inconvenient transfers.
Okay, so show them I can actually put those ideas into action. Exactly. What kind of follow-up question might they ask?
To test my customer service skills.
Maybe they'll throw in a scenario where you have to deal with a high volume of negative feedback.
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. Like what?
Something like, how would you handle a situation where you receive a high volume of negative customer feedback about a particular route?
No, that's a tough one. They want to see if I can stay calm under pressure.
They want to see that you can stay calm, address concerns effectively, and implement solutions to improve the customer experience.
That's a great one. Okay, on to question number 9. I'm ready to dive back into leadership and team dynamics.
You bet. Imagine they ask, how do you manage and motivate a team of bus drivers?
Okay, so this is all about building a strong team and fostering a positive work environment.
Exactly. And inspiring those drivers to do their best. They want to see that you understand the importance of creating a culture where drivers feel valued, respected, and motivated.
So being more than just a boss, being a leader.
Absolutely. Think about specific strategies you've used to motivate and engage your team members in the past.
Like team building activities.
Team building activities, recognition programs, even mentorship opportunities.
Okay, so RoleCatcher suggests this sample answer.
Okay.
I believe in creating a positive and supportive work environment where drivers feel valued and respected.
Huh?
I would encourage open communication, provide opportunities for professional development, and recognize individual and team achievements.
Right.
I would also foster a sense of teamwork and collaboration to achieve common goals.
That's a solid foundation.
Okay, good.
To make your answer even stronger, think about specific examples.
Of how I've actually done those things.
Exactly. Maybe you organized a safety training program that helped drivers feel more confident and empowered.
Huh?
Or perhaps you created a system for recognizing drivers who consistently go above and beyond.
Okay, I like it. So what kind of follow-up question might they ask?
They might ask, how would you address low morale or lack of motivation within your team?
Ooh, that's a good one. It really tests your ability to identify those root causes.
And implement strategies to boost morale and create a more positive, productive work environment. Okay, ready to tackle that last question and really make a lasting impression?
Let's do it.
All right, so imagine the interviewer says, how do you stay up to date with industry trends and developments in transportation management?
Okay, so they're looking for someone who's a lifelong learner.
Absolutely, someone who's passionate about staying ahead of the curve in this ever-changing field.
That makes sense. So how should we approach this one?
Well, think about the resources and strategies you use to stay informed. Do you subscribe to any industry publications?
Like what kind of publication?
Things like Mass Transit Magazine, for example.
Okay.
Or are you a member of any professional organizations?
Like the American Public Transportation Association.
Exactly. Do you attend conferences or webinars?
Oh, to learn about new technologies.
To learn about new technologies and best practices.
Okay, so showcase that proactive approach.
Yeah.
What does RoleCatcher suggest as a sample answer?
Here's what they say. I am a firm believer in continuous learning. I regularly attend industry conferences and webinars, subscribe to relevant publications, and engage with online forums and communities to stay abreast of the latest trends and best practices.
That's a good start, but how can we make it more specific?
Get specific. Mention those actual publications, organizations, or events you follow.
So instead of just saying, I attend conferences, I could say, I recently attended the APTA's annual conference.
Exactly. Or maybe you participated in a webinar on electric bus technology or fuel efficiency strategies.
Those details really paint a picture of someone who's actively involved in the industry.
Yeah.
Now, what about a follow-up question? What might they ask to really dig into our knowledge?
They might challenge you to apply that industry knowledge. They could ask something like, what's a recent industry development that you found particularly interesting or impactful, and how do you see it affecting your role as a bus route supervisor?
Ooh, that's a good one. It makes you think critically about how those trends might actually impact your work.
Exactly. It shows you're not just absorbing information passively, you're thinking about how to use it. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. From understanding what a bus route supervisor does to tackling those tough interview questions, I feel much more prepared.
Me too. And don't forget about RoleCatcher's AI tools. Those can really give us a competitive advantage.
Absolutely. Remember, they offer a free account with tons of great features. Be sure to check it out. And as you head into that interview, remember to be yourself, be confident, and let your passion shine through.
That's great advice. But before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on something RoleCatcher mentioned. The limited career growth potential within the Bus Route Supervisor role. It got me thinking, how would you approach that challenge if you were hired?
That's a fantastic question. It shows you're thinking long-term, looking for a career path, not just a job. Maybe you could focus on becoming a subject matter expert in a particular area.
Like safety or route optimization?
Exactly. Or perhaps you could seek opportunities to mentor new supervisors or take on additional responsibilities. It's all about showing that you're ambitious and proactive about your professional development.
That's great advice. Well, folks, that brings our deep dive into the world of Bus Route Supervisor interviews to a close. We hope you found this information helpful and feel more prepared to ace that interview. Best of luck in your job search, and remember, you've got this.